Hi, this is Chris with Heavy on 97.1 The Eagle, and I am here with Phil from As I Lay Dying. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Good. So is this the hottest show on the tour so far?
It's definitely up there.
I just saw you guys played it probably about an hour ago, or about an hour and a half ago, and it just looks grueling up there.
Yeah, it's a little brutal.
So where do y'all head next after this?
I think we go to Houston, tomorrow, yeah.
All right, be prepared to be worse than this.
The humidity, I'm sure it's going to be awful.
And it's Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
So how's the tour been going so far?
It's great. We started in LA about a week ago, and every show's been awesome. All the way to the very end of Slipknot's set. It's just massive. So many people.
I guess what I've been reading is y'all have had record attendance for Mayhem Festival. Is that a surprise to you guys, or what's your reaction to just the reaction of the fans so far?
I mean, it's just a solid lineup. You can't really compete with Slipknot and Slayer. Kind of running the main stage, and then side stage Anthrax, and some of the younger like Asking Alexandria, Upon a Burning Body, and us on there. It's just really energetic from start to finish.
Other than you guys, who would be like the band to see? I mean, I guess it's about 2 weeks now. Is there a band you've been sneaking off and watching throughout the shows?
I caught Slayer's set in Albuquerque, and it was insane. It was just one of those perfect shows. And Gary Holt's playing guitar for him now,
cool.
And they just sound better than ever.
Yeah, I saw them, one of the first concerts I saw out here about 10 years ago with Pantera, maybe 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
It was the craziest show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Fireworks were being shot off in the crowd. It was just unbelievable.
Nice.
Speaking of that, actually, what's the craziest thing y'all have seen on tour?
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever seen on tour? During the show, one of the craziest things was in Thailand. Some kid lit his hand on fire and was just waving it around like crowd surfing, and you just like, what is that glow, in the center of the room, and kid's just throwing his arm around. I'm sure it was wrapped in something, but it was pretty intense.
All right, that tops one of the craziest things I've ever heard as far as fans go.
Yeah, there's plenty more weird, crazy stuff that goes on, but that's the first one that comes to mind.
Is that because I was doing some research on you guys, and I found out y'all are big in the Christian faith. Does that kind of conflict, like the heavy metal scene or anything? Does that conflict with you or anybody on the band, or has that ever been an issue, I guess?
Never really been an issue. At the end of the day, we're all musicians out on the road making music, and
on paper you see Slayer and Lamb of God and stuff like that, and that, I don't know.
No, there's no problem ever.
Well, that's good. Speaking of Lamb of God, do you have opinion on the Randy Blythe situation?
That just sucks. The fact that a fan died at a show or from his injuries at the show, that's sad to hear. But I know that Randy, I'm sure he didn't mean to do any harm on him. So it's unfortunate that, has to go through all this court stuff for it, and he's still just chilling in jail, It's very unfortunate, but hopefully he gets out soon.
Do you think this situation will change the way you guys tour in Europe or even here, just as far as like security goes or anything like that?
Yeah, we've had a very similar case like that, and it's just tough when kids are being crowd surfed and security gets overwhelmed. A kid makes it up onto the stage and doesn't know what they're doing for the most part. It's a little frustrating, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it's like they try their hardest to get up there, and they get up there, and they don't know what to do.
They don't.
Okay, I made it. Now what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes they get hurt. They don't know where to be jumping back into the crowd or whatnot, and they just fall straight to the ground. And hopefully Randy gets out soon.
Yeah, we all wish him the best of luck. It's
Definitely.
Just a weird situation for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, they didn't even know they were going to be brought up on charges going back. And
it's 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
So it's just crazy how the whole story is unfolding.
So tell me about, you got a new CD coming out in September. So tell us a little bit about that.
The album's called Awakened. We recorded it in April, May, with Bill Stevenson and Jason Livermore producing it at the Blasting Room in Fort Collins. And we got Colin Richardson to mix the album, who's mixed the past two albums, and it's coming out September 25th, and we're just pretty pumped on it. We're ready to get some new songs going live, and to me, this feels like our most cohesive record. Just from song to song, it's got a really nice flow, and it's still very familiar. When someone listens to it, they're like, man, this is still As I Dying, but just taking it up a notch, I feel like.
Is it more melodic than some of the other stuff, heavier than some of the other albums, or anything?
I mean, yeah, both. It's heavier in a different way, and it's melodic, and it's got its moments where you're like, oh, that sounds like a song off Shadows Our Security or a song off An Ocean Between Us. I think we really just kind of got back to the basics, and just wrote some killer songs. Like, we're
cool.
pretty
Well,
stoked
I can't
on
wait
them.
to hear that.
Yeah.
So you played Warped Tour here a few years ago. I think y'all were on that a couple times.
Yeah, we've done Warped Tour. Yeah.
And this Mayhem Festival and Warped Tour. Can you kind of compare? Is there to me, I look at two kind of different genres of music. It's obviously heavy metal for Mayhem and more of a punk rock, I guess, or it's hard to describe. Is there a preference you have between one or the other festivals? As far as style goes,
it's good to change it up. That's the thing. If we always did metal fests like this, it'd be like, God, I wonder what else is out there to do. But Warped has definitely become, I guess, more diverse, but it's still heavy. It's got still aggressive music. Whether it's punk or who knows what the young bands are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mayhem is just strictly metal, and it's more kick-ass.
Exactly.
And that's why it's awesome for us to be on it, because the last real heavy metal tour we did, festival-wise, was Ozfest 2005, I feel like. So it's nice to kind of be back with a lot of the older bands, like Motorhead and Slayer and all them. So it's cool.
So we have a final question. It's kind of the fun question we ask every band that comes through. Mount Rushmore of heavy metal. Who would you put on there? We got four positions: guitar, bass, drum, lead vocal. Just who are you with the four most influential people you think would be?
For heavy metal, you gotta have Hetfield up there. For drums, I would
Are you putting Hetfield as singer or guitar?
Well, he could do both.
Yeah.
Let me see. For drums, could Dave Grohl be on there? I think.
Yeah, I mean, would you put him as?
We'll say Mickey D. We'll say Mickey D from Motorhead.
Okay.
Mickey, their Bastards album is just one of my favorites.
When we discussed that on the show, drummer was the hardest one for us to fill because.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really know drums, I think it's hard to kind of pick.
Yeah.
Out drummer, a great drummer from a regular normal drummer.
Yeah, I think Mickey D. So James Hetfield, Mickey D on bass. Go with Rudy Sarzo.
Okay.
Why not? He plays with every band.
How many bands has he been in? Like
a lot.
He just left. What was it? Blue Oyster Cult or something?
I think he's doing Blue Oyster Cult more, but I mean, since Dio's done now, he was the last guy for that.
He was with Ozzy for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everywhere.
Everywhere. And for guitars, I would. Let me see.
This was hard for us because there were so many great guitar players.
It's got to be a killer lead guitar player since Hetfield's already on rhythm.
Yeah.
Man. We'll say. Man, this is always like a tough one. You can edit this down probably. I just guessed them right away.
Yeah.
Lead guitar, man. I don't even know why this is so tough for me right now, but
you got Dime, Randy Rhoads.
Oh,
Zach.
we can okay. If we're bringing back, like the
yeah, this is Dead or Alive, so anybody you want.
We'll
like
do
your
Dime.
dream.
We'll do Dime. That's
all right.
Yeah,
I like it. You have any Dime stories? Did you ever meet him or anything?
No, never met him, but just we did MTV Headbangers Ball. Damage Plan had done an interview, and we were like next, and they were just coming out, and it was just like, whoa, like we're so like I was like 18 or 19 at the time, and I was just like, whoa, like crazy. Nick like got Nux from Dimebag, and Nick was like, oh my god, like just shaking. But it would have been nice to to have toured with them, but
I got a Damage Plan T-shirt from Dime, and I had the same reaction Nick had. I was like, "Oh my God, that was Dime gave me this shirt."
Yeah, I mean, just him and Eddie Van Halen are just the two riff and shred masters. They could do it all, and their music will always be timeless.
Yeah. They just re-released Vulgar Display of Power.
Yeah.
I went back and listened to that again. Have you listened to Piss yet? Their single off that, I guess?
Yeah. It's totally
it fits
that
in,
era, with everything, and it's a good song, yeah, for sure.
I don't know why they left it off, but it was a great. I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Obviously, that whole album's great.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it here. You got anything else? So what are y'all doing after this? After Mayhem Fest?
After Mayhem, we will be going to Europe with Trivium,
awesome.
Caliban, and Upon a Burning Body. Do about a month over there, and then we'll be doing just some more touring for the next 2 years, pretty much, once the album comes out. So
I'm sure we'll see you back here a couple times.
Definitely.
All right, that's Phil from As I Lay Dying.
Thank you.
All right, take care.